Hey, what's up everybody, Andrew here. Today we're taking a look at the Aorus 15X9-RT4BD. This is a 15.6-inch gaming laptop with an RTX 2070, 15.6-inch Full HD IPS panel running at 144Hz, Core i7-8750H, 16GB of RAM, and a 512GB NVMe SSD, and the retail price of this machine is $2,099. Let's see if it's worth picking up. The top section of the laptop is made out of aluminum and it feels very premium. This is one of the thinnest and lightest 15-inch gaming laptops on the market, coming in at 5.29 pounds and 0.96 inches thick. The build quality is also very good, as there's hardly any flex on the top lid or keyboard. Let's take a quick look at the internals. Here goes your 62 Wh battery pack. Next up is your 2TB drive running at 5400 RPM. For your wireless card, you got a killer N1550, which is a 2x2 card with Bluetooth 5.0, 16GB of RAM. And to my right here, you got two M.2 slots. One's being occupied by Intel 760p, which is a 512GB NVMe drive with great speeds. Here's a screenshot of the Intel 760p in action. Like I said earlier, this is a pretty fast drive, but it's not going to match any of the Samsung 970. So if you want more performance, go for a 970. But you can stick with the Intel 760p if you value power consumption, as this drive uses less wattage, therefore better battery life. The trackpad is truly a pleasure to use, and to top it off, it's using Windows Precision drivers, which is a big plus. The surface is smooth and the overall size is decent for a laptop this size. Two-finger scrolling is really responsive and multi-touch is just as good. Let's take a look at the ports on the left side of the laptop. You got your exhaust port, RJ45 Ethernet, USB 3.0, and a micro SD card slot. Moving towards the back, you got your AC power port, full-size HDMI 2.0, mini display port 1.3, USB Type-C, and a Kensington security lock slot. And finally, to the right side, you got your headset microphone jack combo, two more USB 3.0 ports, and your exhaust port. This keyboard actually has a decent layout, and the feedback from these keys actually feel great. The only con I can really think of is the number keypad is kind of crammed. However, for a thin and light gaming laptop, the overall tactile feedback and feel of this keyboard is great. This is an RGB backlit keyboard, but unfortunately they're not individually backlit, so you're going to have to choose one color and go with it. And you also have different animations like turn on full mode, blinking mode, breathe mode, heart mode, and turn on random mode. And towards the front you have some LED lights here that you can change, and you can only choose three colors, which is red, green, and blue. Here goes your Aorus control center panel information. Here you got your CPU, GPU, memory, disk use information, battery information, device, all kinds of useful information here about your laptop. Battery life from the 62 Wh battery pack is pretty weak. I'm getting an average usage time of 2 to 3 hours with light duty work and medium screen brightness. And if you wish to game on the battery pack, you can expect around 45 minutes to an hour. The nice thing about a thin and light gaming laptop is the power adapter. You only need one 230 watt AC adapter versus two like an RTX 2080. You're getting an LG Philips LG D05E8 panel. This is a 15.6 inch panel running at 144Hz. This is a beautiful panel to look at. It has excellent color accuracy, great brightness levels, and excellent viewing angles. Overall, this is the total package you're looking for. Only downside is it is 1080p, and for ray tracing and DLSS games, I prefer 1440p or even higher. For processing power, you're getting an 8th-gen Core i7-8750H. This is a 6-core CPU that is very popular for many gaming laptops. It has the power to go through many demanding tasks. This laptop is rocking an NVIDIA RTX 2070 with 8GB of GDDR6. This is one very impressive GPU, but as you may have guessed, it is very expensive right now to invest in RTX GPU right now, especially with very limited games and high resolution panels in order to take advantage of the new features like ray tracing and DLSS. With that being said, I was getting some very impressive frame rates with this GPU with all of today's top hits. It is very impressive. The first game we're going to test is Overwatch running at 1920 by 1080p on ultra settings, and I'm getting an average around 165 to 185 frames per second. Overall, this game ran very well. Next up is Apex Legends running at 1920 by 1080p on the highest settings, and I'm getting an average around 100 to 135 frames per second. Overall, Apex Legends ran like a champ, and it wasn't even breaking a sweat. Let's take a look at a more action-packed scene here. As you can see, the frames do drop a little bit, but again, this game is still running very fluid. Now let's test out light-duty games like Rocket League. I'm running at 1920 by 1080p. I'm getting an average around 230 to 250 frames per second. With the RTX 2070, light-duty games like Rocket League ran with ease. It's basically a cakewalk. With PUBG at 1920 by 1080p on high settings, I'm getting an average around 100 to 125 frames per second. Alright guys, this is probably what you've been waiting for, and this is Battlefield 5 running at 1920 by 1080p with ray tracing turned on and DLSS. Everything's on ultra settings. Just look at the detail in the water. It looks very sharp. Like I said earlier, everything is on ultra settings, and this game ran pretty well. I was getting an average around 70 to 85 frames per second. Overall, the RTX 2070 with DLSS turned on and ray tracing did a pretty good job overall. During my 2-hour test with Battlefield 5 on ultra settings and max speeds turned on for the fans, the average GPU temp was around 75.4 degrees Celsius, and the average CPU temp was around 74 to 76 degrees Celsius. The thermal interface materials from HID Evolution is a massive upgrade if you do choose to buy this laptop. The $95 upcharge for this service does an incredible job of keeping this laptop running cool and efficient. Now for the max GPU temps, I was getting around 78 to 80 degrees Celsius, and the max for the CPU was around 78 to 82 degrees Celsius. Overall, these temps are outstanding for extended high performance gaming and to prolong the life of this laptop. Whether you're gaming away or doing something GPU intensive, the fans can rise to around 51 to 53 decibels on normal settings, and if you crank on maximum settings, this thing will go all the way up to 63 decibels. That is very loud. One of the loudest laptops I've tested thus far. The speakers are facing towards the bottom front, the sound quality is acceptable, but I do wish they were just a tad louder. And I was hoping for a mini sub inside to make the low end sound better. It's just a little lacking. Let's get to the closing thoughts of the Aurora's 15 laptop from HID Evolution. This hardware on this laptop is extremely capable and powerful. However, at the early stages of RTX gaming, I don't really think you need to jump on the bandwagon this soon. There are only a couple of titles out right now that truly take advantage of this kind of horsepower, and with the 1080p panel limitation, it's just holding it back even more. As RTX hardware matures and laptop manufacturers put higher resolution screens, then we will see a huge difference in terms of RTX gaming. But for now, I would wait just a little longer unless you gotta have the latest and greatest, and go for it. HIDevolution.com is a great one-stop shop that will truly take care of all your custom gaming laptop needs and more. Alright guys, this completes my review on the Aurora's 15. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.